Hey. Hello, everyone. Good morning from here. I don't know, depending on where you may be, but I think it's morning from here in Paris. And the day has just been good. And it feels so good to be here again to talk about the topic I was actually talking to you about. And I know a lot of people have been really anticipating to wanting to hear or to share from this teaching as well. So let's learn together. And today, the topic, in case you are anxious to know or very inquisitive to know what is she about to say, the topic is understanding jealousy, envy. Jealousy is the younger brother to envy. But first, before you find yourself being having jealousy as a sentence or as a word on its own, you must have started being jealous. That's the first thing. So for that reason, it is very essential for this video today that you and I find out what is jealous. It's a common word, but then it has a very deep meaning and very vast. It has the Bible version of it, which I know that is the one that best explains it, because God's knowledge supersedes and is the foremost before man's knowledge. Okay, so with that being said, I would like to give you the definition of jealous from my English Advanced Dictionary. This was what I was able to extract from there. It says it's a show of extreme or painfully desirous of another's advantage. Now, the advantage could be a gift, it could be beauty, it could be money, it could be another's property, it could be their spouses, it could be their children, it could be something else. As we can see. And secondly, he went further to make us to understand that it leads to suspicion. It could be unduly suspicion or fear of being displaced by a rival. Okay? I hope you're following me. I will need your keen attention. This is interesting. It's deep. Okay? So let's enjoy this together. Now, I would say it again. That's the second part of it. The second part of the explanation of jealous. It says it's an unduly suspicion. An unduly suspicion or being fearful of being displaced. What it means, like taking someone else's position, getting someone's rightful position. Okay, so you or I myself can find ourselves in such situation at a time if we are not very careful. Okay, so being jealous is a thing that could be happening to anyone at any time, regardless of your state, regardless of your class, regardless of your position, regardless of who you are. Okay, so it's not limited to any man. It's not limited to any man's status. It's not limited to personalities or gender. Envy and jealousy is just something very deep, very strong, very deadly that could be happening to everybody at any time. So we have to watch the demon. Let's go ahead. It's getting interesting. So now, that's to be jealous. Okay? So you can be let me explain a little before I go deep into jealousy, because it starts from being jealous, then you move to being, then we'll not call it, it starts from being jealous, then it moves to jealousy itself. And when it is jealousy, when you've gotten to that stage of jealousy, you are now at the deadliest point, which is called being envy. You become desperate. The envy comes with a desperation that leads you to an action of revenge that brings the destruction. Can I repeat that again? Jealousy is the starting point of you having that thing inside you, the demon. Okay? Then it moves to being, you now become, if you don't control it, it gets to a stage of being, of what we call jealousy. If you accept it, it's now called jealousy. You now begin to see yourself, or what one could say, she's being jealous. She's having this jealousy in her, jealousy kind of attitude in her. Okay, so one could use that word. And when it is at that point, what it is automatically is envy. It's called envy. Because at that point, you've left the stage of being so curious, so suspicious, okay? So unworried, so resentful, about somebody's position, about somebody's wealth, about somebody's gift. You are not feeling inferior. You feel this sort of threat. Like, if I don't, the person becomes automatically your rival. That's a demon there. When it comes in, you've just invited a demon that is about to destroy you, and not the other way around. Okay? So let's continue. Now, let's look at the dictionary definition again of jealousy. Okay? Now, it just gives us a little explanation, a further explanation, kind of laying an emphasis, because at this stage, it has not gone beyond the normal to the unusual, making you very, very, very desperate and wicked. You are now being driven crazy, okay? And at this point, you have to watch it. You have to watch it, okay? So let's see. It's a feeling, here it said, it's a feeling of jealous envy. Did you hear that? It is a feeling of jealous envy, especially of a rival. Who is a rival? You can call for a rival. Unknown to you, many people are your rival. We can say someone is your rival when you are no longer comfortable with someone's success, with someone's beauty, with someone's accolades. Just a little compliment of someone, you are not being comfortable about it. Even when it is very obvious to you that indeed this is what the person is. Oh, this person truly deserves the accolade. Oh, in this area, this person, in fact, duly deserves this. But yet, when you feel the sense of you not being happy like every other person, not being remarkful of such person, you try to pretend like you don't know. You try to talk down on the person. You're being jealous. Nobody likes to. The funniest thing is that nobody likes to bear that name, because of course, it's not a good name. Nobody likes it, okay? Because it's never a good name to bear. It's not. So we all have got to watch it. And that is why this teaching is very, very important. Okay? So we've got to, like for myself personally, like I said yesterday, from the scripture where I get from Paul the Apostle, though we are still moving, I'm still going to give you the passage that shortly and briefly explained what jealousy could do to you or to do to me if we don't watch it. And even as I speak, many of us could be dwelling in the same thing. And one thing is, when you are being jealous, threatened of someone, the truth is, you and your conscience know. No matter the way you would want to paint it. I'll give you a Bible character, okay? That will still explain what I'm trying to say. No matter how you try to paint it, because sometimes you might appear to be okay, you try to, pretend, you try to cover it up, you try to paint it to be something else, okay? But deep down to be honest, to be sincere, we all know within ourselves when we start feeling jealous about a thing. And it's at that stage that you better prevent it, because there might be no cure. Okay? So let's go ahead. All right. Now, envy on its own, did you see what I'm saying? Is it deadly? By then, the virus would have become so grown. It's the deadly virus. It is bitterness. You now have so bitterness. At this state, you can't even pretend over it. You can be so violent about it. You can be so openly revengeful about it. Because all you needed when you were feeling this jealous was that, could this person just stop? Can this person get out of the way? And sometimes you could have tried some little things to try to stop the person and hit the person, because ordinarily, an innocent person might not know when you are jealous, having this spirit of jealous towards them. So they do their thing, they live their normal life, they don't change. Because what they do is good and is good. So how would they know for them to change to suit your desire? It's not possible, my dear. Okay? So at this stage, when you feel this jealousy, because it comes, that is when you begin to work on yourself. You begin to watch it. At that point, it hasn't become a deadly virus. We could just call it a symptom, okay, that you could diagnose, and at that time, take something that kills it. So with that being said, again, envy is bitterness, resentment, and even my dictionary in parentheses still made it known to us that it is personified as one of the deadly sin. Yes, it is. It is. It is one of the greatest. Can I say something here? God himself, he told us to tell you how serious it is. For him, he looked in the Bible, he looked for the word that could kind of like explain better how we could present as in guard our salvation. He said, guide your salvation with fear and trembling, because he is jealous over us. So jealousy is a very serious matter. Even God, but his own jealousy is a positive jealousy. Okay? So now we, the mortals, we humans, when we display these things, we tend to do it in the negative aspect, harming ourselves. And this jealousy thing is very trickish, because I've come to understand that this is one of the strongest tools the enemy has over us. The only way he gets to any man at any stage, if he doesn't get you through pride, he gets you easily. In fact, for me, I would say he gets every man. Like I said, he's a very vast subject with virtually so many characters to point out in the Bible. Now, for today, I'm going to take a character quickly. I just want to use a character quickly to point out, to buttress my point for today. Okay, for today's one, because we're still going to be taking this phrase by phrase, like I said the previous day. Okay, I want to pick quickly. I want to cite a character in the Bible, David and King Saul. Look at David, a little boy, an innocent little boy. He wasn't learned, still very little, being a young boy. He was a farmer. He was a bush boy. He takes care of his father's cattle and all that. And he had bigger brothers who were in the military for Saul. And Saul, being the king, an anointed king of God in Israelite, and everybody loved him and worshipped him as such. And this same king had a very difficult, sleepless problem before him, which is the Philistines, and was desperate of looking away, finding a way to put an end to this what do I say? Most especially their leader, the Goliath, that troubles every city. To put an end to that. And there comes David. Nobody ever perceived David could be a person just little as he was. He wasn't learned. He didn't go to school. He was a bush boy. Okay? But there in the field, God was preparing him. With his hand, he was able to turn them out of a bear. With his bare hands. These are the gifts. This is a gift. This is what he's called to be. A brave child. So these things, there are things we don't get by way of being educated, by what we learn. These are divine. These are the gift. And David came. Why he was sent by the father to go and check his brothers while they were preparing for the war the Israelites have with the Philistines. And David himself, the dad sent him to go and check over his brother while they were preparing themselves. He hasn't been to war. He was still very young. His brothers were trained to fight in the war with sword and spears and all that. So, but David came. He had that belief, he had that faith, because already that was what he was called to be. I don't know if you get in the state. And there goes Saul, who was worried. And this young boy, remember, at the time Saul too was sick of an evil spirit. David came and he sang. Just with the way he blew the, what do you call it, the musical instrument. I don't know. I don't know the name of that particular instrument. I've forgotten. Not like I don't know. I'm so sorry about that. David played it and the evil spirit went away. He went away. And Saul got himself. And there again he came. And Saul was even skeptical about him winning the battle for the Israelite. Considering his age, Considering, I know he must have. For me, I when I was studying this in the Bible, like I was thinking, like in my head, I know Saul would have been like, "Oh, where is this boy coming from? What do you mean? Who are you?" You understand? So that is who God is. He has made people in a way, giving them special gift. You cannot fight it. These things are divine. So now David came and won the battle, killing Goliath. Not even with sword and spear, because when he was given, but he kept it because he wasn't used to it. But he used what he's used to. He took a stone, but by there, and he said to the Goliath, "Do you have come with me with your spears and weapon? But I came to you in the name of the Lord." So it is not just the stone. It was an higher power, which was the name of the Lord he mentioned. And I believe it was God that took that thing right to the forehead, because God will definitely honor his name. And he won that battle. And they celebrated David. Now, King Saul, in the midst of being happy, he saw how David was celebrated and paraded. What happened? This was an anointed king by God. And I believe he must have been praying. And God brought an answer to his prayer to secure his reign. Because when God chooses us, he makes availability. He becomes your fence. Anything God has made, choose him by himself. You dare not cross that place. And even you, God has favored. You needed to watch this one demon. Jealousy. What happened? Saul became frightened. David automatically became a rival. He became threatened. He became worried. Was it not how that demon came in and Saul welcomed the demon? So, not to make this video long, what happened thereafter? He was no longer happy with David. He was no longer happy with David. He became fierce with him. He became very fierce with him. And do you know the secret? The one thing again I want to point out in this video is that, and at this point, this was happening to Saul. No one could have detected. No one could have noticed what was the issue. Only him himself. Because we should not forget, with this same story, Jonathan loved David, the son of Saul. The daughter as well fell in love with David. And David himself was just an innocent, happy boy. David didn't do that for a gift. David didn't do that for a prize, nor a reward. He did it out of the goodwill of his heart, because this is what he is born for. A brave child. And what the Saul did. Let's get into the story. I think we'll have to stop the video because it's going too far. I'll wrap up for today. Then I'll come back again for the next series. Then that will be, what are the likely revenge? We'll move to the revenge, because I'll leave something here today. There's a process how these things, how it goes. First, it starts from jealous, to be jealous. Then you move to that stage of being envy, being furious, being pitted. And then you move to the next stage of being revengeful. And the consequence becomes death. Did you get it? Jealousy leads to envy. Envy leads to revenge. And revenge leads to death. And lastly, the thought for the day. That will be the thought for the day. Okay, that word. And with that, you see that what they call it, that 4 stages, how it goes. This is how we are going to go. That will be sort of the same way we are going to be following this teaching until we get to the very last of it. Okay, so for today I'll be ending this video because I never had I don't want to make any of the videos very long that one could not have that one will not have the time to just watch and follow up what we're about to say. So for today, we just share is understanding jealousy. Okay, so tomorrow we'll talk about, I've actually touched a little on the envy, but we'll continue from envy, then we'll get to the revenge. Then as well, at the same time, revenge will now get to the consequences that you get in this thing, which is called death. Okay, so now, before I actually say thank you for today, I would like to conclude with this scripture. Let's see, it's in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34 and 35. Let me quickly open my Bible and read it out loud to you. You can read on your own. Read Proverbs. Here the Bible gave us a brief explanation of jealousy, what he could do, just for you to have a better knowledge of today's phase of our discussion. Okay, so like I said, is in Proverbs chapter 6, 34 to 35. So sorry. I've not been able to open up. Okay, Proverbs chapter 6. Where are you? Sorry, the print of my Bible is so tiny, so it takes me, and again, it's a new Bible, so it's kind of very difficult to get a page. Sorry about that. I apologize. Okay, I've gotten it. Like I said, is in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34 and 35. I read. 34 says, "For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of revenge." Did you understand that? I want you to read it on your own and digest it. 35 said, "He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou giveth many gifts." Did you get that? When we get to the next episode of this topic, I'll explain that to you. That was exactly the definition of that envy that leads you to revenge. We'll talk more in that. We'll give more light on that. Okay? So that's that for today. I want to say thank you for being here. And I would even appreciate it more if you would leave your own thought about today's teaching, if it was helpful, if you actually enjoy it, and if there's anything you would want to share with me, because like I said, we all are learning and we all want to teach so that we impact life and make our environment a comfortable and peaceful place for dwelling. Because at the end of the day, without peace, there is no home, no community, no life. Thank you for today. it's been a pleasure time. It's been a pleasure for me, to actually share my thought on this topic to you. And I want to thank you for your time as well, to be able to listen and also leave a comment so that we can grow together. Thank you so much. I want to say at this juncture, bye-bye for today. God bless you.